Well, the search is ongoing for a group of inmates who escaped from a jail in the heart of New Orleans.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Like, share, subscribe, comment, IG, TikTok bottom video, and we're just gonna hop right into it. So today we'll be talking about the inmates that escaped that New Orleans prison. So it was originally reported that it was 11 of them. It's actually 10 of them. Keith Lewis was one of the ones that was wrongly named. So the 10 inmates that have escaped, or some of them are captured, but we'll get in that in a couple minutes. But the 10 inmates are Antoine Massey, Linton Van Buren, Leo Tate, Derek Groves, DeKinnon Dennis, Jermaine Donald, Corey Boyd, Gary Price, Robert Moody, Kendall Miles. So those are your 10 inmates. The ones that have been captured, and I'll put them in the order of how they got captured. So Kendall Miles was the first one to get captured. He got captured in the French Quarter. Robert Moody was next. He got caught in Central City, which is a neighborhood in New Orleans if you aren't familiar. The third one to be caught was DeKinnon Dennis. He was caught near Chief Mentor Highway and Dale Street. Next one to be caught was Gary Price. He was caught in an abandoned house on Good Drive. And then Corey Boyd was caught on apartment complex on Iberville Street. So all of these niggas got caught in New Orleans. So that should tell you about the planet. We'll get in that in a couple minutes. So if you haven't picked up, the ones that are still free are Antoine Massey, Linton Van Buren, Leo Tate, Derek Groves, and Jermaine Donald are the 5 that are still free. So what we've found out recently, after everybody's probably seen the videos of them escaping and shit like that. What we've seen recently, first let me say it like this. So what we found out more about their process, let me say that, because obviously when you escape prison like this, especially when it's 10 of y'all, you know, you're wondering what the hell happened, and probably somebody, it was an inside job somewhere, which we did end up finding out. So what happened was that the water was cut off at a certain spot. They removed a toilet and a sink, then cut steel bars and got through a rectangular hole that we all saw the damn label that said "too easy" with one O. Terrible grammar. I mean, funny as hell. Fucking grammatical error. Too easy. LOL. And that's how they broke out. So, what we end up finding out about we are not sure, from the details if this is an inside job or not, but he has been charged, a maintenance worker, Sterling Williams, for cutting off the water. So what he originally said when he was arrested, that he was threatened by one of the inmates, saying that they would shank him if he didn't cut off the lawyer. But now that he has lawyered up and things of that sort, they said that the toilet was clogged, maybe intentionally, for the, so they knew that the water would be cut off because of the issues with the toilet. So he ended up doing it, and that's how they got out. So a little bit of conflicted story there. The fact that you got arrested by the police gives a little more, for you might have been inside more than you're trying to lead on. But we'll find that out at a later date. Today we also found out there were 2 women arrested, a Courtney Harris and a Corvante Baptiste, charged with, that's probably something French or something like Creole, something like that. They were charged with helping the escapees while they escaped. Now, Harris was in phone contact with one and transported 2 of them. Now, Baptiste, I low-key feel like they did her a little dirty, but she was in contact with one on the phone and on social media with another, and she helped get one of them food. while he was escaped. So that's a little, you trying to feed a nigga who wants it. That's his fault for being on another ass shit, but you trying to feed a nigga anyway. So the charges that these men that are still, out and escaped are murder, attempted murder, armed robbery, and carrying illegal weapons. So that's pretty much all it is to the stories. Now we basically get into my opinion part of it. So them all being caught in New Orleans is bogus as hell to be. Like, I just do not understand what is your thinking when you escape prison. Now, a lot of people, like, because it was an ongoing social media thing, niggas was making bets about who was going to be the last one to. If I just had to guess looking at them, my guess is probably, I'm going to guess Antoine and Derek going to be the last ones to to be captured. Not, well, shit, I ain't going to lie. One of them might fuck around and get away for real because it's just, I mean, technology is hard with all this shit, but 1 out of 10, I wouldn't be surprised if one actually happened to get away for real. But basically what I'm saying is the only thing with Antoine, he got fucking face tattoos, so that make him a little recognizable. But I'm just saying I would get further away. I don't know. Obviously, you got to have some type of plan. If I was going to escape, I would have came up with some type of plan. This seems like maybe this was a last minute thing because a lot of niggas we seen, some of these niggas get back on social media, was popping they shit like them niggas had just got out of jail, like they had served their time and got out of jail, not niggas was escaped from prison. So that's definitely interesting that they all got caught in New Orleans, which makes sense because nigga, you didn't go nowhere. But next thing is, niggas be like out the country, Mexico, things of that sort. Yeah, probably. Cause you really can't, it's gonna be hard to catch a flight. Especially with all the shit. It's gonna be hard to catch a flight. So you definitely gotta get on land. Niggas talking about going to San Diego, Tijuana. Maybe. I mean, if you got a finesse over the border, you can do it. I mean, shit, fuck it. But yeah, them niggas probably, I ain't gonna lie, they definitely, like, going out the country still a little risky, border patrol and all that. They probably somewhere tucked up somewhere in America. But, they probably gonna end up, nigga, if you trying to get away, you gonna have to change your identity, all that shit, move somewhere in the middle of West Bumblefuck where ain't nobody gonna recognize you, Idaho, some shit like that. Wyoming. But, yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see if they do get captured and where they will be getting captured at. But it's funny as hell they all got captured in New Orleans. Like, what the fuck was you thinking? But yeah, that's really all I gotta say though. Like, share, subscribe, comment. IG, TikTok, bottom of the video, and we out.